to walk and see what they got going on today. All the farmers are showing up, and it's exciting to see what we're going to be cooking. We made it to the Urban Harvest Farmers Market. We got fresh produce, we got great food to taste, we have live music.
So welcome to Currant Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Soren Peterson. Last week we started an 8-course wine dinner paired with Houston Vintners' Own wines. We're gonna be able to see how the food and wine pairs together. We're gonna finish it off today. We have 4 more courses to go. So the first course you're going to see today is actually the 5th course as part of the menu. We're going to do a Black Hill pork tenderloin served with some beautiful purple whole peas we got from Hempstead, along with some fresh apricots. The second dish that you will see, which will be the 6th course, is actually the beef tenderloin and filet mignon served with fresh morel mushrooms, a little bit of herb polenta. Third course is going to be a brie, a double cream brie served on a crostini with some fresh cherry chutney. And to finish it all off, we're going to do a little bit of roasted mango with some white chocolate fondue and some crisp flaxseed granola. So enjoy, check it out. You're going to be able to see the front and the back, see the whole show. Enjoy. I'll go ahead and add our peas to this, to the shallots. Let them saute for a little bit, and then we'll add our apricots in a minute. So we're going to saute these out, and then we'll add the apricots, let the juice come out, and basically let it simmer. Thank you.
I was debating if I could go around there and like hug on you and tell you, but these cameras are intimidating.
Well, no, they don't record the whole time anyway. Apricots. Basically, just let them in there. Let them just cook. Turn the heat down and just let them simmer. Finish with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, maybe a little scallions.
They have a deal in Scotland. You go to the bar and you can take a tour of Scotland.
That's why we're trying to. I did not go
So welcome back to joining us. We passed the 4th course. We're going into the 5th course. 5th course is a beautiful apricot and purple whole pea compote. It's going to go with a pork tenderloin. The following course is the beef tenderloin, the filet mignon, which goes in whole roasted, and we're going to make a nice little polenta with it. So what I did was I made a nice veal stock, add a little bit of cream and fresh herbs to it, and basically we're at the point where we're going to add our cornmeal to make polenta. The idea is as you put it in, you stir. And basically, you don't need a lot. The ratio is about a cup to a quart of liquid. But the key is to cook it out, because you don't want that graininess. It's okay to be soft, but you really want to cook it all the way out. If you see solid little yellow specks in it, that means it hasn't cooked to its full potential, and you don't get that creaminess that you're really looking for. So you basically add it a little bit at a time while you stir. Slow down for a second, and basically let it mix up really nicely. Because the other thing is, once you create lumps, it's really hard to get out. So basically, the slower you can put it in right here, and stir it up, and just give it a chance to come up and boil. And you will start to feel immediately how the cornmeal is starting to thicken up. You have liquid. So a little bit more, and then we're about there. And then really the key is just let it come up to a boil. Let that cornmeal cook. And if you have to add a little bit, you always can, but it's better to have a little bit less. The only thing that means is you just need to cook a little bit longer to reduce a little bit more versus the other way around, because if you have too much, it's going to start to be too solid and not a creamy liquid anymore. So basically just have a little bit of patience, kind of like how we made the risotto. It's going to take a little bit of time to make. But just slowly do this thing and let it turn down a little bit. Turn maybe to medium heats. And that way it's going to start to cook. As you can see, it's starting to become like a thick sauce. And it's only been a little bit, so really just want to let it simmer and let it cook out all the way. And you can add anything to this. We went ahead and had herbs in already, but you can add cheese, you can add other, whatever kind of herbs you like to put in it to flavor. So basically, you flavor your broth, you add your cornmeal, and it's going to take off of that. So just slowly turn it down a little bit more, and then you can kind of let it cook a little bit. So we kind of turn it down, and it will just sit there and thicken up on its own, and you can stir it every once in a while so you can have other tasks you need to do. So for this filet mignon, we're gonna serve a nice, beautiful, fresh morel mushroom sauce. Really powerful mushroom, don't need a whole lot. This is the time of year we can actually get them. Usually you'll get them dry and you have to rehydrate them. This uses simply, we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil to the pan, and we're gonna slice them. And we're gonna let them simmer in the oil. And basically create the sauce based on that. And then I have that nice veal stock that we saved some from. And that will be a very simple but very powerful sauce for our filet mignon. The one thing I will warn against is if you buy them out of season, highly expensive. you're looking at close to a couple $100 a pound. But in season, you're looking at more like 30 bucks. Big difference, very big difference. Just a light saute. Coat them in the oil, and then we'll add our little stock, and then we may add a little bit of cream just to reduce it down. It would be nice. We're gonna taste that. It'll sit for a little bit longer, and it's gonna be perfect. So we're gonna add our stock, and we're basically gonna reduce that by about a third, a half, and then we'll add a little bit of cream and reduce it again. Add a little pinch of fresh oregano, and we're good to go. Gonna check our fillets in the oven. Want to get them a nice medium rare, which means we actually cooked them twice. We actually gave them a fast flash heat, pulled them out, and let them rest, and then flash them again, heat them again, and that way the juices comes back out in the meat, especially in filet mignons, tenderloins, because it's have low fat. So really that blood really gets in the center as it cooks, and by letting it, giving it a break, it'll come back out in the meat and be really nice. And you can still cook a medium rare, or even medium for that, and you still have a juicy piece of meat. So the sauce is cooking, the polenta is resting, filet is resting. We still have a course of pork tenderloin coming up. So it's gonna be a great time, about 20 minutes, and we'll all be ready to go. Communication, it's like a play in a theater. Everything has to match. Everything has to come together at the right time. If the food's ready, but the server's not ready. If the waiter pours the wine too early, but yet the food is not quite there yet, all that means is the guest is sitting waiting for one thing or the other. So clearing, letting me know once he starts clearing, especially at a larger party like this, I need to know once he starts clearing so I can do my final preparation of either flashing the meat, do the finishing touch on the sauces. So once he clears the last plate, I'm ready to go. So that is crucial, essential for any kind of event that you have.
The size of the cut?
Yeah. The size is obviously small. Normal portion you would serve is somewhere like 8 ounces if you do a fillet, but in this case they already had several courses, so you're trying to stay somewhere like 3 ounces, 2.5, 3 ounces, because even within the 8-course meal. The 8-course meal, there's kind of what you would call 3 heavier dishes that you would consider being an entree. So you place that. Okay, do you want me to do that and then you can put the meat on? So we're about to plate the filet mignon with the polenta and a little bit of morel choux. While we're waiting on that a couple of minutes while the waiters are pouring the wine, we're going to go ahead and do the cherries for our brie toast crostini. So basically, let the pan get hot. We're going to go ahead and add, we've pitted these already, and we're going to saute them real quick, add a little bit of brown sugar, and just a tiny bit of vinegar, and that's it. So we're going to keep the cherries whole, make just a couple of cherries on top of the brie toast. It's going to be delicious. The acidity for the creaminess of the brie, and then the crispiness from the crostini. It's going to be delicious. Fresh cherries. Just a quick. We still want to keep them fresh tasting. Just want to flavor them just a little bit, and really, that's all we're going to do. Keep it simple, keep it fresh, let them just speak for themselves. So we're basically just going to let that heat up for a few minutes, just to incorporate the flavor, and they're ready. So take a couple of fresh ones. We made these French baguettes sliced, added a little bit of brie, and then we're going to fire it in a really hot oven so the brie melts, and then we're going to add a little bit of cherry on top. That will be the 7th course. Right now we're about to serve the 6th course, so hang on. For the dessert, what we're going to do is what I call a cheese fondue. Actually, a white chocolate fondue, I'm sorry. Basically, what we're going to do is heat the cream, add a little bit of sugar, and then we're going to add white chocolate. This happen to be a Calibo chocolate. This is a Belgian chocolate, and you can get them in solid blocks, so you can actually get the same thing in already little pellets, which melts a lot easier. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to bring the cream up to a boil, turn the cream off, and then we'll add the chocolate into it, stir it real quick, so you get an instant thick sauce, almost just chocolate and cream, really. That's all it is. And we're going to roast some mangoes. So we put this white chocolate fondue in the bottom. Some of the mangoes that's been roasting in the oven. And a flaxseed granola, which we took the golden flax seeds, we soaked them in water and soaked them with the currants, a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg, and basically just soaked them for about 2 hours and spread them out in a sheet pan, bake them off. These are still a little bit soft. We're going to crisp them up right before they go out. But that will be for the dessert, the white chocolate fondue, a little bit of mangoes, and the flaxseed for crispiness. It's a beautiful meat. You see how it's rosy. It's rosy throughout. It's because it's been cooked, rested, Makes a look at the rosy meat all the way through. It's been resting, cooked, rested, cooked. And basically, it lets the juices flow back out, so you get a nice, juicy meat throughout. Yeah, just ladle a little bit of choux and then just see if you can get a mushroom on each one. Just a little bit less choux if you can do it.
That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Now, polenta could be with fish. Polenta could be with anything, chicken, fish, whatever you like. It's just really more of a question of preference. It's a little bit of a heartier side. So you can actually also let it chill and then you can cut it out to squares and use it as cakes. Go. Maybe I should start over there.
Yeah.
Leftovers, you can actually take, you'll be able to take this leftover polenta, smear it out to a pan, chill it, and you can cut it into cakes. And you can sear it on the pan tomorrow. That would be a great avenue for it. Or same thing with the beef. If you slowly heat it up, you'll actually be able to use it tomorrow for the same thing. Otherwise, you would cook it slowly, like a 250, which would give a slow cooking time to where it doesn't turn dry. That's the biggest thing, is to keep it that way. Probably wrap it up in foil, and then let's stick it in the oven 250 very low. Or you can slice it as roast beef for a sandwich. That would be a great way of using it. There's all kinds of stuff with leftovers that can be done. Generally let the staff eat in the end of the night, and whatever is left is usually gone, so we don't have that issue. So anyway. So basically bring your cream to a boil, and we're gonna add this chocolate right here while we're stirring. And now don't let it come to a boil after that, and you'll start seeing the chocolate separate. So basically turn it back down, and the heat already in the pot along with the cream will actually be enough to make it into a nice sauce. There we go. Slowly heat it up. Slowly heat it up. A little bit more heat if it needs it. And as it cools back down, it will actually thicken up. We're just trying to make sure that it's all melted ahead of time. And that's it. It's all melted. You just let it sit. I call it a fondue. It could easily be like a ganache. It's more like a ganache, but this is. So sit it slowly. Just let it sit on the stove. Let it cool down. Once it gets to room temp, you smear it on the plate, and it goes out nicely. There we go. So fresh crostinis right out of the oven, melted brie. We got cherry chutney. So simply place a crostini on the plate in the center. Just gonna put a couple of cherries on top and a little bit of the juice. And that's it. The acidity for the cherries is just really coming out. All right, last course, roasted mangoes, little flaxseed granola, and the white chocolate fondue. So what we do is we'll take off the skin, and then rather than actually sweeten these, we're just gonna drizzle with a little bit of olive oil and then roast them in the oven and let the heat bring the sweetness out of the mango. And make sure when you do these mangoes that they're actually pretty soft. You don't want to make them too hard, they're not ripe, the sweetness is not right. But basically all it takes is just one little piece of mango. And two, the mango seed is actually a flat seed. So you actually end up cutting it around it like this, where typically a seed is more rounded. This is a flat seed. Again, just a little sliver roasted off. So we finished 8 courses wine dinner here at Vintner's Own. We have been through scallops, we've been through duck, we've been quail, risotto, filet mignon, pork tenderloin. We've been through 8 courses and finished off with mango on a little bit of white chocolate fondue. Everybody is full. They went home. It's time to clean up. You're watching Currant Kitchen at Houston Media Source. If you missed some of the episode or the first part, go to www.currantkitchen.com. Thank you for watching. See you next time.